What's up, tech enthusiasts, and welcome back to ChatGPT Insights. The pace of innovation never slows down, and we've got a jam-packed episode with some mind-blowing updates that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. First up, we're diving deep into the environmental footprint of AI with Google's Gemini. Next, we've got a crucial update in global logistics, as Gemini announces a significant new port of call for its vital shipping service. Then, Gemini is making major waves in the financial tech world, securing a massive EU license that opens up a whole new continent for their virtual asset services. And finally, we're getting a granular look at the power behind our favorite AI tools with a breakdown of just how much energy a single AI request truly consumes. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. AI's energy footprint revealed. Google details Gemini's environmental impact. The true cost of artificial intelligence is becoming clearer as Google shares unprecedented insights into the environmental impact of its Gemini AI. For the first time, the tech giant has detailed the energy consumption, greenhouse gas emissions, and water usage associated with every Gemini prompt. This move towards transparency aims to inform the public and push the industry towards greater accountability in the face of escalating AI demands. According to Google's disclosures, the median text prompt processed by Gemini apps consumes approximately 0.24 watt-hours of energy. To put this into perspective, this is roughly equivalent to the energy used to watch television for just 9 seconds. Beyond energy, a single prompt also generates about 0.03 grams of greenhouse gas emissions and utilizes 0.26 milliliters of water, a figure attributed to the cooling systems in data centers. Gemini, powered by Google's advanced large language model, is deeply integrated into many of Google's core applications, including Gmail, Docs, Sheets, and Meet, serving over 450 million users monthly. Google is actively encouraging other AI providers to adopt similar transparency measures, cautioning that generalized public estimates can quickly become outdated due to rapid technological advancements and efficiency improvements. Demonstrating their commitment to this, Google highlighted significant progress made over the past year. The energy use per median text prompt for Gemini apps has been slashed by a factor of 33, and the carbon footprint reduced by an astonishing factor of 44. Ben Gomes, Google's chief technologist for learning and sustainability, stressed the importance of sharing both the data and the methodology, stating, "We're investing in new infrastructure, engineering smarter and more resilient grids, and scaling both mature and next-generation sources of clean energy." He further elaborated, "At the same time, we're also focused on maximizing efficiency at every layer of our operations, from the design of our custom-built hardware to the software and models that run in our data centers." Despite these efficiency gains, the broader context reveals a substantial increase in Google's overall energy demand, driven largely by the expansion of its data centers and AI infrastructure. To meet these growing needs, the company is exploring a diverse range of energy solutions, including nuclear power, renewables, and geothermal projects. In 2024 alone, Google's electricity consumption rose by 27% year-over-year. However, through strategic investments in low-carbon electricity and enhanced operational efficiencies, the company managed to decrease its data center emissions by 12%. While Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions saw reductions, Scope 3 emissions, encompassing supply chain impacts, increased by 22%. Google reaffirmed its 2030 ambition to achieve net zero emissions across its operations and value chain, setting a 2019 baseline and committing to a 50% reduction in Scopes 1, 2, and 3 emissions, utilizing carbon removal solutions for the remainder. This detailed disclosure marks a significant step in understanding the tangible environmental costs of AI, prompting a wider industry conversation about sustainability. User impact. The transparency from Google is being lauded as a crucial step for the industry, though some experts caution that comprehensive lifecycle assessments are still needed for a complete picture of AI's environmental impact. But how does this impact the global flow of goods? Stay tuned as we cover a major update in international shipping services. Gemini expands maritime reach with Gwangyang Port Addition. In a strategic move to bolster global trade connections, the Gemini Cooperation, a joint venture between shipping giants Hapag-Lloyd and Maersk, has announced the inclusion of Gwangyang, South Korea, as a regular port of call on its East Mediterranean, Far East SE3I-15 service. This enhancement aims to streamline cargo movement and provide enhanced shipping options for businesses operating between Asia and Europe. The updated SE3I-15 service route now encompasses Qingdao, Gwangyang, Ningbo, Tanjung Pelepas, Port Said, Izmit, Istanbul, Ambarli, Port Said, Singapore, and then returns to Qingdao. The addition of Gwangyang, a significant industrial and port city in South Korea, is expected to significantly improve trade connectivity for shippers, offering more flexibility and potentially reduced transit times for cargo moving through this vital economic corridor. This development is particularly beneficial for regional exporters and importers who rely on consistent and efficient shipping schedules to maintain their supply chains. This service enhancement reflects the ongoing commitment of Hapag-Lloyd and Maersk to optimize their operational networks and meet the increasing demand for reliable shipping solutions across key global maritime routes. By expanding their service offerings, the Gemini Cooperation aims to strengthen its position in the competitive container shipping market and provide added value to its customers. The inclusion of Gwangyang not only facilitates direct access to South Korea's robust manufacturing and export base, but also strengthens the overall connectivity of the Far East to the Mediterranean region. Industry analysts view this expansion as a positive indicator of growth and adaptation within the shipping sector, highlighting the dynamic nature of global trade and the continuous efforts by major carriers to enhance service efficiency and coverage. The Gemini Cooperation's proactive approach in updating its services demonstrates a clear focus on customer needs and market trends, ensuring that their network remains competitive and responsive to the evolving demands of international commerce. This strategic port addition is poised to facilitate smoother trade flows and reinforce the importance of the East Mediterranean, Far East trade lane in the global economy. User impact. Shippers using the SE3I-15 service can now benefit from more direct access to South Korea, potentially improving efficiency and opening new trade opportunities. But the Gemini name isn't just making waves in shipping. It's also charting a course into new financial territories. Get ready for a massive regulatory win in Europe. Gemini secures landmark EU license, expanding virtual asset services across 30+ EEA countries. In a significant regulatory achievement, Gemini, the cryptocurrency exchange founded by the Winklevoss twins, has successfully obtained a markets in crypto assets (MiCA) license from the Malta Financial Services Authority (MFSA). This pivotal approval grants Gemini the authority to offer its virtual asset services to customers across the entire European Economic Area (EEA), encompassing over 30 countries. This expansion marks a major milestone for the company, significantly broadening its operational footprint and solidifying its presence within the European market. The MiCA framework, established by the European Union, is a comprehensive regulatory regime designed to harmonize rules for crypto asset service providers, ensuring greater transparency, robust investor protection, and a unified market for digital assets throughout the EEA. Gemini's successful navigation and acquisition of this license underscore its commitment to operating within stringent regulatory standards, a crucial element for building trust and attracting both institutional investors and retail users in the highly regulated European financial landscape. This regulatory alignment is seen as essential for fostering long-term growth and stability in the digital asset space. Gemini has been strategically focusing on expanding its European operations, ensuring its services meet the evolving regulatory expectations of key member states. Executives at Gemini have expressed enthusiasm about the license, noting that it opens access to a vastly larger market and reinforces the exchange's position as a global player in the cryptocurrency industry. Complementing this regulatory achievement, Gemini has also launched tokenized stocks on the Arbitrum blockchain for its European clientele, offering the flexibility of 24/7 trading and enhancing the accessibility of traditional financial assets within the digital realm. This move signifies Gemini's intent to bridge traditional finance with the burgeoning world of digital assets. This development positions Gemini alongside other major cryptocurrency exchanges, such as Coinbase, Kraken, Bitvavo, and Bybit, which have also secured MiCA approval or are actively pursuing regulatory compliance within the EU. The phased implementation of MiCA across member states is ongoing, with some nations still finalizing their national legal adaptations. However, the overarching trend indicates a clear regulatory pathway for crypto firms seeking to establish a legitimate and scalable presence in Europe. Gemini's strategic expansion under the MiCA framework highlights a broader industry trend where crypto firms are increasingly prioritizing regulatory compliance to ensure legitimacy, foster user trust, and achieve sustainable growth. The MiCA regulation is widely regarded as a critical step towards the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies globally, providing a clear and structured environment that encourages innovation while safeguarding consumers. Gemini has consistently advocated for regulatory clarity as a fundamental prerequisite for the long-term health and success of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. User impact. Gemini users across the EEA can now access a wider range of regulated virtual asset services, with increased confidence in the platform's compliance and security. But as Gemini expands its reach, another tech giant is shedding light on the hidden costs of its AI. We're digging into the energy bill of AI. AI's power bill. Google reveals energy, water, and CO2 cost of single Gemini request. Google has lifted the veil on the often opaque environmental footprint of its artificial intelligence, providing the first detailed figures for its Gemini AI platform. In an effort to foster transparency and address growing public concern over the ecological impact of AI, the company has released data on the energy, water, and carbon dioxide emissions generated by a single text query. This move comes at a critical time, as the environmental costs of AI have become a significant topic of discussion, with previous estimates often being broad or based on limited scientific studies. According to Google's own calculations, a typical text-based prompt submitted to Gemini consumes an average of 0.24 watt-hours of energy. The company contextualizes this by comparing it to the energy required to power a television for approximately 9 seconds. Beyond direct energy consumption, the operation of AI models necessitates significant cooling for data centers, leading to water usage. Google reports that a single AI request accounts for about 0.26 milliliters of water, roughly equivalent to 5 drops. Furthermore, each prompt contributes approximately 0.03 grams of CO2 equivalent to the atmosphere. Google emphasizes that these figures are comprehensive, accounting not only for the computational power directly used by the AI chips, but also for the energy consumed by supporting infrastructure, idle system states, and the general operational overhead of data centers. This holistic approach, Google claims, provides a more accurate picture than many prior analyses. The company also highlighted substantial year-over-year efficiency improvements. Electricity consumption per request has decreased by a factor of 33, while CO2 emissions have been reduced by a factor of 44 compared to the previous year. These gains are attributed to ongoing investments in infrastructure, grid optimization, and the scaling of clean energy sources. However, this transparent disclosure has also drawn scrutiny. Researchers like Shaile Ren and Alex de Vrieskau have raised concerns that the figures might be misleading if they do not encompass the entire lifecycle of the AI infrastructure, particularly factors such as hardware manufacturing and the water stress in specific geographical regions. Critics also point to Google's methodology, noting the reliance on market-based carbon figures rather than location-based data, which could potentially present a more favorable emissions profile. The broader implications are significant. While a single query's impact may seem minimal, the cumulative effect of billions of daily AI interactions is substantial. The continuous cooling requirements of data centers can place considerable strain on water resources, especially in arid areas. Even with Google's reported efficiency gains, the sheer scale and rapid growth of AI applications raise fundamental questions about long-term environmental sustainability. User impact. While individual requests seem minor, the aggregated impact of billions of AI queries highlights the need for continued efficiency improvements and sustainable energy practices in data centers worldwide. And that wraps up our deep dive into the latest tech news. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with a quick recap and all the ways you can stay connected. And that's a wrap on today's Essential Tech Updates. Google is spilling the beans on Gemini's energy use, showing us the real environmental cost of AI. We saw Gemini adding a crucial new stop on its shipping routes, boosting global trade. Gemini also landed a major EU license, paving the way for expanded crypto services across Europe. And we got a clear picture of how much power a single AI request actually consumes. Don't forget to like this video if you found it valuable, subscribe for more cutting-edge insights, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Follow us on all our socials to stay connected. We'll see you in the next one.